Investigator Tim White recently did some digging and found a hidden danger underground. Tim joins us now to tell us about this latest report. Tim, tell us about the investigation.
We're looking at underground storage tanks. Rhode Island is an old industrial state, as you know. We have thousands of them across the state, and those are just the ones that are regulated by the government and that the DEM knows about. As a matter of fact, we have some video, if they could call that up. This tank here was found in Olneyville. They had no idea it was there. It was at an old industrial site. They followed some piping. They went digging, and they found that tank, and a lot of these things hold some pretty scary chemicals.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of these things, I've done stories similar to these before. These are 20,000 gallon tanks that a lot of gas stations use and companies use. And I guess the biggest danger is they leach into the environment.
You got it. That's when they become dangerous. They start to leak. And the problem is you don't know about them leaking until it shows up in your water or it starts leaking into the basement of your air. In Rhode Island, the Department of Environmental Management knows about 300 tanks that are currently leaking right now. 300 tanks. And they're only able to tackle a handful of them a year. It's a real problem.
I was going to say, with the economy the way it is, where do they get the money for the remediation?
Well, that's it. The General Assembly decided to cut the fund to deal with these tanks by half and give it to RIPTA. Some stimulus money came in recently, but that's only going to deal with 20 to 25 tanks over the next 12 months. So if you do the math, we've got 300 sites in the state, and the experts, the scientists at the DEM are really concerned that this problem is only going to grow because the UST fund has been cut in half.
Is this anything where the EPA can jump in and try to take some responsibility off of the state? Some
of the tanks are federally regulated. Some of them are regulated by the state. So that's where the EPA would step in. But really, where the rubber meets the road, some of the funding comes through the EPA, like the stimulus money, but it's still the state DEM that has to deal with these tanks one-on-one and deal with the gas station owners. You know, a lot of these mom-and-pop places that have leaking tanks, they can't afford the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to pull the tank out of the ground, let alone rehab the soil that's been destroyed.
Well, we've obviously just scratched the surface here, Tim. Thanks for joining us this morning. And, of course, you can see Tim's entire investigation tonight at 10 on Fox Providence, and then again at 11 on Eyewitness News at 11 on WPRI 12.